Good morning, everyone. We're just going to start the session in the next minute or so that we don't leave out few enthusiasts who would like to join from the beginning. Please feel free to put your specific questions in the chat box from the beginning. So as and when we go through the presentation, we might be able to answer them. And we'd also be able to navigate the chat and the conversation which would be more relevant towards your asks and your needs. And if you could just rename yourselves your own name, your last name, and your company name for us to get a better insight into who you are and what company you represent, it would be really helpful. In just about a minute, we'll begin. Okay. So once again, good morning. Welcome, everyone. Thank you for being part of this session. I think it is one of the most important sessions that we will be doing in the beginning of this year, because it's all about the new laws that we've just encountered as companies, organizations from the government in the UAE, corporate tax. Not an expert here. I am not an expert here. So I want to know more about this. And the only person I could think of when I actually thought of understanding on a deeper level was Nazima. So I requested her to do this session for us. I will leave Nazima's introduction to her, but I'd really like to say thank you very much for doing this, Nazima, for us. Your company has been part of its survey for a few months now, but I can already see the strides and the impact your company is making for the community. So thank you very much for being part of this. And thank you very much for doing this session for us in the morning. Over to you, Nazima.
Thank you, Amin, for giving me this opportunity. Can you hear me, all of you? Good morning.
Yes.
Can you hear me, Amin, right?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, good morning. This is Nazima. I'm into this business and consultancy for more than 20 years. And we have two companies, Enterprise House Corporate Services, which are into business consultancy, and we have Fin Expertise here, which is audit and accounting firm. So I have done my master's, and then I joined my husband. So 20 years I'm with him, working as a business consultant and in merger and acquisition, legal documents and everything. Let me introduce my company. So all about Fin Expertise, that is, we are among the top 25 audit network for the members of Forum of Firms. We have 23 offices in 17 plus countries and more than 1,300 employees. And UAE, we have 3 branches already, and we are going to start soon in ADGM as well. We're going to register. We already started the process, so we'll be registering with ADGM as well. But today's topic is very important because it's all about corporate taxations. Before I start, I have 2 questions for you so that just a brain session, you're not required to answer them, but just think about those questions. So first will come, are you aware about corporate tax? Everywhere there's a buzz, corporate tax, corporate tax, corporate tax. So are you very well aware about that or not? That's one. And are you ready for that? Are your company or accounts are compliant to that? So first question, do you maintain your books of accounting? Just think about it. Are you maintaining your books of accounting? Then you are keeping track of your expenses, your receivables, and do you have your financial year end? Have you decided what will be your financial year end? So these are very important things which you have to keep in mind when we talk about corporate tax. You should be ready by now, because since more than 1 year, we all are talking about corporate tax. But are you ready for corporate tax? Is your company ready? Is your accounts ready for corporate tax? This is very important for you. Let me talk about now, I'll straight away come to taxes in UAE. Or in general, there are always two types of taxation. Direct tax, indirect. Before I talk about direct tax, I'm going to explain a little about indirect tax. So it's already there in UAE. Custom duties are there that you are very well aware about, those who are into trading businesses or import-export businesses. Then there is an excise duty and very important VAT. We all know about VAT. For VAT, it's a 5% standard rate. Okay. And just remember one thing, VAT you are going to file when you reach the turnover of 375,000. So please remember one thing. I'm using the terminology turnover of 375,000. Once you reach this threshold, it becomes mandatory for you to register for VAT. Okay, if you're not registered for VAT, like if you're not reached the turnover of 375,000, voluntarily you can register for VAT, but it is not mandatory. If you are not registered for VAT, please do not charge VAT in your invoice. Okay, so make this thing very clear that if you are not registered for VAT, please do not charge 5% VAT in your invoice. So you have to remember one thing, it is not mandatory, it's voluntary. If you reach, till you reach 375,000, if you reach AD 375,000, it's mandatory to register for VAT. I'm not going more into VAT, I'll move to now direct tax. Direct tax is a tax on individual. There is a taxation, there is no tax on individual. There is no inheritance tax, there is no wealth tax, there is no income tax. Okay. Now, recently introduced tax, corporate. There's a tax on the corporate, tax on your business income. It's 9%. And again, I'm using one more word. It's again 375,000, but it is not on turnover, it's on income or it is on profit. If you think that, okay, I'm a small business, why I'm attending this seminar? Better I leave the meeting and save my time. No, I'm using the word if you're not reached 375,000 profit, doesn't mean that you're not going to file for the tax. You have to file for the tax even 0%. And you have to register for corporate tax. It is important. So unlike VAT, I told you, if you reach, I use the two words, turnover and profit. So if you reach the profit of 375,000 dirham, you have to file the tax 9%. But if you have not reached the profit of 375,000, then also you are going to file the tax return to be 0%. And it is, I'm going to repeat this word again and again. It is mandatory to register for corporate tax. It is mandatory to register for corporate tax. If you have not done now, please, as soon as you finish this session, kindly start registering for corporate tax. If you cannot do it on your own, take a professional help. But it's time now to register for corporate tax. It is mandatory for everyone, if you are small or big, and it is mandatory for you to file for corporate tax, even if it is a 0%. VAT is a different scenario and corporate tax is different. Okay. So my dear friends, I want to emphasize, please register for corporate tax. It is mandatory for every businesses and it is mandatory for you to file for corporate tax. File the returns, even if it is a 0%. It is must. Now, what are the highlights of UAE corporate tax law? Corporate tax act to be that already explained you 0% up to the taxable amount of 375,000. What is the taxable amount? Your profit or income. And above 375,000 profit, you are going to pay 9% tax. Again, If you're not making profit of 375,000, it doesn't mean that you don't have to file and you don't have to register. You have to file even 0% and you need to register for profit. So business losses can be set off with other entities' income with the group, and unabsorbed loss can be carried forward indefinitely. Okay, this is for those companies who are into the group of companies. So accordingly, so it's for the bigger group. When you're different groups of company, you can set off the losses with one another. Financial year and tax period will remain same. Now, very important is here financial year. In the beginning, I asked you, have you decided your financial year? How can you decide your financial year? It will be mentioned in your memorandum and article of association. If it is not mentioned, then automatically your financial year will be from 1st January to 31st December. Hope I'm clear. So financial statement to be in compliance with the local accounting standard, IFRS. Now, as a taxation, make sure you're maintaining your books of accounting properly and up to the standard, up to the accounting standard of IFRS, that's the International Financial Reporting Standard. Very important. I'm going to talk about small businesses later. There's no tax advance provision like another country. You can do it, not in UAE. Tax return will be filed and payment will be made annually. It is the annual maintenance has to be done. And very important, you have to maintain your records of accounting, bookkeeping, filing, whatever you're doing, at least for 7 years. And this record has to be kept either, in the soft copy form, hard copy, hard disk, wherever, but you have to maintain your accounts for 7 years. If you're not aware about, you cannot give excuse that, okay, I was not aware about this. No, if there are texts, you should keep yourself updated. Ignorance is not an excuse. Fines are going to be there for a mistake. You are going to pay for it. So make sure you maintain your accounts up as per the IFRS. First thing, you register yourself, which is very important. Now, I'm going to talk about qualifying free zone persons and the small businesses later.
Nazima, sorry,
Yeah.
quick.
Yeah.
Can I share the presentation screen, slide number 4 for this one?
Yeah, you can.
So this one, yeah? And then
Yes.
you can just let me know next slide.
Okay. This one, right? Highlights of you. Sorry.
That's the one, yes. So next slide.
I'll go next. Okay. Taxable person. Is that okay?
Yes.
But first, let me finish with this. Okay. See, so as I explained all of you that taxation is mandatory, registration is mandatory, filing is mandatory. You can prove yourself, like you need to prove yourself, or when you're filing, at the time you can mention that I'm a small business. So you will get small business relief. So in that case, even if you reach the profit of 375,000 dirham, you will get small business relief and you're going to file 0% tax. That is only possible if you have turnover less than 3 million. At that time, during the filing, you can mention that you are a small business relief. That means you are less than 3 million. Now, how you are going to prove that you are a small business? You cannot just mention that the government is going to accept that authority. Okay, fine, we'll give them the relief sheet. They can file 0% tax. No. How can you prove yourself? There comes. You have to maintain your accounts properly. Very important. Now, again, if you're a qualifying free zone person, that means if your company is registered in free zone, doesn't mean that automatically you will fall under 0% filing. Again, if you're free zone also, you have to register for corporate tax. You need to file even 0%. You need to prove yourself that you are a qualifying free zone. During the filing, when you're like filing your returns, at the time you have to prove yourself you are a qualifying free zone person, then you can offer 0% tax rate. So these are the two things very important: small business relief and a qualifying free zone person. Even if you reach the profit of 375,000, you're going to get you need to file 0%. But you need to prove that that you are a qualifying free zone person and you are a small business relief fund. I'm going to talk about this in the next slide. So what is a taxable person? Can you see this? So we
Yes.
have, for the taxable person, we have categories, taxable and exempt person. Person here, taxable person is taxable entity they are talking. This is a terminology they are using, but it's a entity, taxable entity or taxable company. Only exempted list government is already provided. You can see on the right side the list of exempted persons. Other categories are not exempted. That means, again, I'm repeating, you need to file for corporate tax. You need to register for corporate tax. That's the first step. And later on, you need to file for corporate tax every year, even if it is 0. Okay. So let's talk about the taxable person. It's a natural person and a legal person. Who is a natural person? Natural person, this is very important, my dear friends. Just see the list carefully. Undertaking any business activity which I mentioned, freelancing, if you are a private tutor, if you are a babysitter, business activity without license, streaming, bloggers, influencer, you all will come under the taxable person category. That means you have to register for corporate tax and you have to file, even for the zeros. And if you're going to ignore this, you're going to pay the penalties for it. So be careful. Unincorporated partnership, that is there are clubs, there are trusts, there are foundation, family offices. So they also come under taxable person. The sole establishment. What do you mean by sole establishment? There are many companies with a single shareholder, either mainland or the free zone. They will also come under. Now the legal person. Incorporated entities and P of foreign entity. That means I'll talk about foreign entities first. That means either you are a branch of a foreign company, you are a representative office, or market office. You will fall under the category of taxable. If you're incorporated entity, this is very clear. We are a company who are registered in the mainland, like LLC company, or you're registered in the free zones, or you're registered with the e-traders, or you are registered with the security market. So all of the people are taxable. I hope I'm clear till now. So I told you, very important, everyone has to register and everyone needs to file. Even if it is a 0% tax, you need to file. And if your profit more than 375,000 dirham, but your turnover is 3 million, then you come under the category of small business relief. In that case, you're going to file the tax, but you need to prove yourself that you are small business relief. And there are merits for small business relief. Benefits, simplified tax return. It's not very complicated. You can maintain your accounts properly. And then you can mention that, okay, I'm a small business relief. You can not required to calculate tax because you're going to file 0% anyhow. You're not required to pay any tax that you know, but filing needs to be done. You can carry your costs as an amount. Not required with the transfer pricing documentation. This doesn't not required to compile the transfer pricing documentation. This is a technical term which I'm going to explain later. Now, what are the demerits of small business relief? Cannot set off and carry forward the losses for the relevant year. Cannot form the part of tax group. What is tax group? There are many companies you have, like your big, small companies. For one company, you put it as a small business relief business. You cannot put that company when you're doing the compilation for all the companies. You cannot put that company under your big group. So still need to compile the arm length principle now. So let me explain you what is arm's length. This is applicable for everyone. Arm length principle means, suppose you're doing business with your another company, which is your related party, either belong to your family, your husband, your wife, brothers, sisters, cousins. If you're doing business with them, you have to be very careful in accounting. It will fall under arm length principle. Suppose you're working with your husband, or you're not working with your husband and you just recently joined. In that case also, there will be questions asked for the author. Suddenly, why wife has joined the business and why you're paying so much salary? they will think that you're trying to reduce your. So be careful if you're not taking salary up till now from your business, because there is no income tax, remember. So you can take the salary. There will no a tax on the salaries which you're going to derive from your businesses. But suddenly, if you start taking the questions, authorities definitely ask you.
And
Not,
Nazima,
yeah,
do you want to take questions now in the middle when they're asking? There's
yeah,
one.
it's okay. I'll take it, no problem.
Okay. Where and how to register for corporate tax?
Yes, I'm going to come. That's my last slide. I'll come to that one.
Okay, great.
I'll come to that one.
Next slide, or we're still on this slide?
Let's go to next slide. You can, as I already explained you, that you can apply for the small business relief if your turnover is less than 3 million for 2 years. Very important. So how to apply for small business relief? Please pay attention. Very important. You need to register. And when you're filing your return, at that time, you have to mention that I am a small business relief. My turnover is only 3 million. And to prove that, you have to maintain your accounts as per the standards. And you need to maintain this accounts at least for 7 years. Okay. How you will prove that? You need to maintain your bank statements, sales ledgers, invoices, everything should be kept in. Let me go to understand. This is a small business relief scenario I have given you. Suppose your turnover is 1 million in December 2024, and in December 2025 year end, I'm talking about, your turnover is 3 million, then you will get the benefit of small business relief in 2025. But if you reach 3.5 million in December 2026, then you will not get small business. So these are some scenarios. You can just see that if any confusion. In second scenario, in December 2024, you are 3.1 million, and December 2025, you are 3 million. So you are not small business relief in 2025. If you have the profit of 375,000 in that particular year, in 2025, you need to pay 9% tax. Hope I'm making it clear. Guys, you can ask me a question, no problem. So in that case, yeah.
Please unmute yourselves also if you have a question, or raise your hand, and we'll be open to take questions.
So these are the different scenarios where you can take the benefit of small business relief. I hope you understand that if your turnover is 3 million, and even if your profit exceeds 375,000 dirham, then also you are going to file tax return as 0%. But it should satisfy certain conditions. And again, important is maintaining books of account. I was speaking about natural person. Natural person also come under the this taxation if you exceed 1 million within 12 months. In that case, you also required to pay that taxation. But again, suppose you have a business and you're sole proprietorship, but if you're invested in your personal investment, in the shares, in the dividend, you're buying something, then it is not your business profit. So you're not going to pay any tax on this kind of. If you have a salary more than 1 million as an employee, you will not pay tax, neither you need to register. If you've done some real estate investment and you're getting profit or rent from there as an individual, and it is more than 1 million, still you're not required to register. I think I made it clear, okay?
I think Namita has a question.
Yeah, Namita.
Yes. Hi, Nazima, and hi, Armin, and everyone.
Yeah.
Nazima, now
Yeah.
you mentioned that maintaining accounts is very important, this, that, whatever, irrespective of the size of the business, right?
Yeah.
What, according to you, is the best way? Like, say, supposing somebody is doing, like, I'm talking about myself, I'm doing all my transactions through bank, my VO. So every invoice is already there, right?
Yes. Yeah.
And so separately, if I'm just maintaining an Excel sheet, is that enough, or do I have to do anything more than that?
It is enough. But I told you, make sure that you are doing as per the IFRS. This is very important.
Okay, how do we get to know more about IFRS?
I can assist you later. It's quite in detail. Okay, I can explain you in that detail. But it's okay if you're maintaining an Excel sheet because you're a small business. You can even
Yeah.
maintain in Zoho or a
Yeah.
QuickBooks, Tele. You can maintain your own account. You don't need professional help unless you are in small business. Make
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
But remember to register and remember to file everywhere, even 0%. And put it as a small business rate. Go. See, authority is not going to ask you more details.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but suppose 4-5 years they come behind you. Okay, tell me how you can say that you're a small business. At least you should have something to show them.
Right.
Maintain in the Excel sheet, no problem, but maintain it properly.
Okay.
And all the receipt invoices, either soft, save as a soft copy or hard copy, whatever is convenient for you.
Mm-hmm.
Your expenses, your petrol expenses, your coffee expenses, keep everything. We try to do it properly.
And so, will that be taken into account? Like, expenses, say like networking. Okay, now that's an expense for the business in a
Yes.
way. It's to
Yes.
promote
Yes.
your business that you're doing it. It's a marketing activity. So if maintaining accounts of that, will it help? So every
Yes.
receipt
Yes.
has to be kept?
Yes. Yes. Even you're spending for the networking membership or you're going buying coffee, this all can come under expense.
But there are so
Marketing
many people who are not
expenses. Yeah,
getting
you
a
can put
receipt,
under.
right? But
Yeah.
we don't get a receipt for those things.
But try to keep it now. Better.
No, but nobody's issuing a receipt for those things. So how are we going to document those?
In that case, you can do one thing. You can have a lump sum marketing money, keep it aside. That this is,
Okay,
how much you're spending. So these are
right.
my marketing expenses. You can put in that together. Like when you
Okay.
go for pay, like for the big company, they maintain petty caches. So sometimes they put everything together, petrol bill, this expenses, that expenses. You can budget your company that way. So budgeting is also very important.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Namita, just stepping in here, I think if anybody is asking for money and not issuing an invoice in return or a receipt payment confirmation in return, first and foremost, that's a red flag.
Yeah.
You have to ask them for it. And if they are not able to give it, then you ask for a refund because that's totally
Yeah,
illegal.
receipt is must. Yeah.
Oh,
Always
okay.
take the receipt. Take invoices or
Because,
it's important.
I mean, there are so many events happening where receipt is not given.
Yeah,
We-
those are red flags. That's why there are
Ask them.
transactions. Those are
Mm.
red flags. Those need to be curtailed, or you need to ask them to give it even from the payment gateways. If they are payments that are being taken directly to bank account, that's a red flag again. You cannot claim it as a company, as an institution, so you should not pay for it if you can't claim it.
I
They
think,
are,
and if they are not doing that, even they will
Mhm.
be in trouble. If they're not the company itself, networking event or like networking company or anything, even they need to maintain accounts. So they have to be very clear in their accounts also, providing receipt, providing invoices. It's important for them also.
Okay. All right. Thank you for clarifying that. Thank you.
So see, Namita was asking me about this, how we're going to maintain accounts. So this is just an idea. If your turnover is less than 3 million, cash accounting normally you can maintain. If it is less than 3 million, or you can maintain in IFRS for SME or IFRS is full form. But you're more than 3 million to 50,000 dirhams, then you have to maintain IFRS. You cannot maintain your cash accounting in the Excel sheet. Okay, make sure if you're more than that.
there's another question, Nazima, about salaries and owner's profit. So
Yeah,
Naz, if you're around, if you can just ask the question by unmuting yourself also, that would be fine. So her question is
Yeah.
salary of owners are.
Hi, Nazima.
Hi. Yes, please.
Hi. Yes, so I wanted to ask you that if there are partners in the company and they have salaries, will that be the part of profit that they take, or will
No,
that be
no.
deductible?
It will be deductible. That's why I told you, even if you're small business, if you're not taking salary, start taking salary, even small amount. That will reduce your profit because this is a corporate tax. Okay, so tax is on the corporate book, not an individual, not as in salary. Even if you're deriving 1 billion salary, your income is not taxable.
Okay, but like you said that if there's a wife she will be asked why she is paying. So like, is it by education that the owners have to justify their salary, or
Yes,
does
yes,
it have
yes.
to?
No,
Mm.
suppose, see, I am working with my husband for more than 20 years. So definitely I'm deriving some salary. So I don't come under that arm's length situation. So my husband can easily prove that she is with me since long. But suddenly now, if you're decided to increase your salary next year, appoint your wife and start paying her salary, then there is a question. Then there's a question. That comes at arm's length. So you have to maintain your account properly. Take a professional advice if that is the scenario.
So that means that they might check the accounts of the last year and see
Maybe
that when the
2
salaries were
years,
increased.
2 years accounts definitely you have to keep updated. Like if you're going to start paying tax next year, this year accounts should always be updated and properly maintained. But suddenly you cannot make changes in your account as soon as you start paying taxes.
Okay.
Nazima,
So
Arm's
which,
length issue is
what
very
is the time
important.
period basically? I just wanted to know the time period that we have. We anyways maintain the accounts, we do the audits every year, but then for the corporate tax, when do we have to like be careful? What is the time period?
See, it started from, it has been introduced June 1st, 2023. Okay.
Okay.
And suppose your year end is December 2023, that year. So
Okay.
that year you are not going to pay, but for the next now year December 2024, you need to file your tax. Now, this year, from 2023 to 2024.
Okay.
You start like planning now, and still a portal has not opened for filing. They are just taking registration at present. But I think within June or something, they will open for tax filing for sure.
Nazima, I have
Yeah.
another question. Now,
Yes.
supposing there is a small new business, okay, where one cannot actually kind of determine any kind of salary to say, or what does one do in that case?
See, you're a small business, and suppose you're incorporated this year.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to start paying taxes for the next year.
Mm-hmm.
Right? But in my opinion, what I suggest usually start taking at least little salary. Even 1,000, take it.
Okay.
Because if you start taking not in 2024, you take in 2025, then there's a question mark. But as if you are less than 3 million, of course, they're not going to ask audited report, produce your accounts. They will trust you. Okay, you are less than 3 million. You apply for the 0% taxation. So, but still try to maintain and get some salary for yourself. Maintain, I told you, receipt, accounting. Start preparing now. It's very important to prepare. It's time now to keep everything ready, get organized.
Next slide.
Now I'm coming to the point of free zone person. So free zone can, of any free zone company, no matter if the profit increases 375,000 or more turnover, they can opt for free zone person and they get 0% tax. They have to file only 0% in that case. How you can prove yourself that you are a free zone?
Sorry, am I on the right slide?
Free zone person.
This is natural person slide, natural person, accounting framework, free zone.
Yeah, this one. This is the next. This one, free zone person.
Yep,
Okay.
go for it.
You can, a free zone person can claim 0% corporate tax return on its qualifying income on meeting few conditions listed below. So please read carefully. Maintain adequate substance in the free zone. What do you mean by adequate substance in the free zone? Anyone have idea what is adequate substance? What do you mean by that? Adequate substance means if your company in free zone, so you have a license, okay, your activity, you should have an office. You have to prove that your desk space or office, whatever may be, that should be there in your free zone, as well as some employee, and you are doing business within free zone. So that means you are maintaining adequate substance in the free zone. Then you're deriving qualifying income. Now, what is qualifying income? It's a very vast, it will take a lot of time to explain in detail. That means you are doing business within free zone. You can allow to do business outside the free zone, but you have to, if you go to the next point, There is a de minimis requirement. It's minimum requirement, 5% of total or AED 5 million, whichever is lower. So you cannot exceed your business outside the free zone 5 million. Okay. If you're doing business less than 5 million outside the free zone, then you come under the qualifying income. So if you want to prove yourself free zone person, audited financial statement is must. Not only important is maintaining accounting, you have to produce audited financial statement. Now, if you're not elected for 9% tax regime, it is not automatic. You need to register and apply for the 9% tax regime. Next slide.
So I have a question here, Nazima. The purpose of registering in a particular free zone is because you want to operate and do business, majority of your business in that free zone, correct? That's what it's saying over here.
Yes, yeah.
Now, most companies or most individuals, SMEs particularly, register in free zones to avail better, pricing discounts, incorporation
Yeah.
discounts, and offers that have been there, especially after COVID. Yes, there is a DED, especially Dubai residents, there is a DED option and a license possibility for that. But most people still go for free zones because the visa processes and everything is easy.
Easy.
How will eventually the eventuality of taxation, corporate tax especially, affect the business operations of these entities, because they have been registered, let's say, half a decade. It's Survey's example. For example, most of our business is dealt with outside of the free zone. We've got Ajman free zone people, and our company is registered in Ajman. And now this, with corporate tax coming in, would you recommend some drastic changes or some statutory changes in companies like It's Her Way as well?
Yeah. See, that's what I told you. That's why I'm talking of free zone person. By law, you have to work within free zone, but you're allowed to work outside free zone. 85 million. If it's a big company, less than 85 million, you can do business outside the free zone. If you're a small company, you cannot do your business more than 5% outside the free zone. Like suppose you are doing business of, let's say, 1 million within free zone. Of that 1 million, only 5% of business you can get it from outside. Okay, rest business has to be inside. If it is not inside, of course, if you are doing more than 5% or more than 5 million, then you are not a free zone person. You have to pay 9% taxes. It's not like if you cannot work, you can work it, but you will not get that 0% benefit, because free zone company can get 0% benefit if they satisfy this condition. And if you want to prove yourself that I'm a totally free zone person and I'm going to file only 0% tax, in that case, it is mandatory to produce audited financial statement. Unlike when we're talking about small business relief, they are not required to produce audited financial statement. But free zone company, like when I'm talking about free zone person, I'm talking about free zone company. The terminology they use. The free zone company has to produce audited financial statement, or else pay the 9% tax.
Okay, so only taxation related
Taxes
dates come in. So if you're paying tax and you're still a free zone company and you still want to be a free zone company, you can go for it. You will not get the rebate, or you will not get the benefits of small business.
Free zone, small business. And yes, you cannot apply two things together. Suppose you're paying 9% tax, or like free zone person as well as small business. You cannot apply these two things together.
Got it.
Either you can be small business or you can be a free zone person. Mainland company has to pay 9% taxes if they have profit of 375,000. But free zone can get exemption even if they have profit of 375,000. But they have to prove that they are totally free, and there are criteria and conditions for it. I'm going to explain this scenario for free zone. Now, don't say free zone person. I'll speak as a free zone company, so you don't get confused. Free zone company can opt for 0% corporate taxations, even if their profit more than 375,000. So let's ask question number 7. Are you a free zone person? Instead, I'm going to speak free zone company. Are you a free zone company? If you say yes, I am totally. My next question: do you maintain adequate substance in the free zone? I already told you what is adequate substance in the free zone. Okay, you should have a license in the free zone. You should have small office, even desk space. You should have some employee, and most of the business should come from the free zone. Then only you can call yourself free zone person. And if you say no, I'm not a free zone person, I don't have enough staff, my most of the staff is outside, or I get a lot of income from outside, then it's okay. You have to pay normal tax, 9%. And if you say I maintain adequate substance, if it is a yes, are you deriving qualifying income? What is a qualifying income? I already mentioned there's a minimum limit, 5% of total income. If you're deriving from outside, it's okay. If you're deriving less than 5, if you're generating less than 5 million from outside, that is okay. Then you will be free zone company fully and you can opt for 0% tax. But if not, then you have to pay 9% tax. Okay, so you have to satisfy minimum requirement. Important. If you satisfy your minimum requirement, you are a qualified free zone or a person, and you can claim 0% tax. Hope this is clear, right?
Yes, that's clear. There's a question about international expenses, business development expenses and things like that. Ijaz is asking this question. Do international expenses get considered for corporate tax?
It's an expenses. So it won't, yes, you can put it as expenses, but if it is again, it's a free zone, if it is a free zone company, if it is like you are expending if you're spending outside UAE, and if you're a free zone company, that means you're spending outside. This is not a qualified income. Qualifying expenses. If you're doing that business outside and it's less than 5% of your business, what you're doing inside the free zone, then you can offer 0% tax. But you can put your expenses. Later, auditors can decide whether this is a qualifying expenses or qualifying profit or whatever.
So again, I think I need a little clarification on this question. Now, if there are most online companies take online SaaS models, software as a subscription models for working operations. A lot of times, most of those companies are not registered within the UAE boundaries, which means they do not hold a license and they don't have VAT. So what happens in those international expenditures when they are subscription-based and online payments? Of course, they will not be reflected in VAT because there is no VAT component in the invoices that are received from them. But in this situation, in the corporate tax situation, how does that get come into? We can still, if we are not qualifying for any of these, and if we are still filing and paying 9%, we have to then reduce this expenditure and then pay the 9%, correct?
I mean, this is a little technical, I think. So I will ask my team, like who are the tax expert really, because I told you when you go into more detail of accounting, you need to see so many things. Suppose, like I tell you, this for you, it's mandatory to buy from outside, right? You don't have choice.
Yeah.
In our case also, we have accounting software, we have audit software, which you bought it from outside. That's an expenses. You can buy, you can spend outside. You cannot generate income more than 5% what you're generating from. Yeah. So you can do it. These are expenses. You have to do it. So this will fall under the expenses, not your profit. And corporate tax is on the profit.
Yes. Okay. So it will be in the expenses, and basically they cannot be exempted. That's what I'm trying to say. In the book of accounts, it will be factored as expenditures, and obviously expenditures at a certain point diminish the profits or lower the profits if they are more. So that's what I was trying to say. So those can be calculated in the cost structure or the expense structure of the.
And you can always justify big expenses also. If you're having such kind of expenses, you can justify that this is mandatory for me. I have to do it. And you're doing for so many years, right? It's not like suddenly you've done these expenses outside. You're doing for so many years. So there should not be any issue with that.
Okay, got it. Thank you. Thanks for the clarification. Next slide.
Nazia, I had one question.
Yeah.
Sorry. It was regarding the free zone company. So if the company is in airport free zone, you
Hmm.
know, like they don't do any business in the airport free zone because there are no clients over there. It's mainly all manufacturing. So for every order that goes outside the airport free zone, the company pays 5%
5%,
customs.
yeah.
So still they are liable to pay that 9%, like even after paying that 5% to the
Yes.
government.
Because this is 5% is a direct tax. We already in the beginning already explained that direct tax is indirect tax. If you're paying VAT also, you
Mhm.
have to pay this tax, corporate tax. Because corporate tax is on the profit. So
Okay.
like you have to register for, if you're doing custom, you have to register for custom. You have to register
Yes.
if it falls under VAT, you have to register for VAT, and you have to register even for corporate tax. So this
Okay.
is 5% is totally different. It's a custom duty, and this is a corporate tax. Totally two different, and you have to pay both of them.
So it's better to just move out of the airport free zone or something like that, like to a normal free zone.
See, anyway, 5% tax, like suppose if you're bringing any goods from outside, even if you're
Mhm.
company in the mainland, you're going to pay 5% custom, right? If it is a free zone or any port, your goods are coming. If you're there entering in UAE, you have to pay 5% custom duty. That is
Yes.
always there. You cannot get
Yes.
exemption from that.
Yes.
Unless suppose you are bringing goods into the airport free zone, and then you're taking it out and you're paying 5% there, but that goods is not staying in Dubai or in UAE, sorry, it's just going internationally from some other port or some other airport. In that case, you can ask that 5% back. That
Mm.
is possible. If you have not done it, do it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They will refund you that fund because that good is not in the UAE, it's going outside the UAE. So in that case, you can get that 5% refund.
Okay. And unlike VAT, like which is only applicable if you're selling inside the country, corporate tax is applicable even if you sell outside. Like if you're making profit, you have to pay that 9%.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think you don't get confused with VAT.
Yeah.
Okay, even if you're doing outside inside business, whatever maybe, but if you're maintaining your books of accounting in UAE, the company is in UAE, and you have reached the turnover of 375,000 in that particular financial year, it's mandatory for you to register for VAT. Turnover, not profit. Okay?
Yeah.
You have to register for VAT. It becomes mandatory for you. If you have not done it, then you will be penalized.
Mm-hmm.
But corporate tax is on the profit. No matter if you're 3 million of turnover, but your profit is 375,000, less than 375,000. But see, I explained so many times. VAT, once you register, you have to you have to file it. Okay? And when you have to register, when you reach the turnover of 375. Corporate tax, as soon as you have license, if you're licensed in UAE, if you're doing business in UAE, it's mandatory for you to register. And filing is also mandatory. But if you are, profit is less than 375,000, it's a 0% filing. And if profit is more than 375,000, it's a 9% filing. If you are paying custom duty, if you're paying VAT, corporate tax is still totally different. Okay?
Okay.
Hope I made it clear.
Yes. Thank you.
Can you see this free zone person transaction?
Yes.
Now, this free zone person, I will not say free zone person, free zone company. Okay, if you are doing excluded activity, the list of excluded activities, I think which I'm going to mention this another slide, next slide. If you are doing business with the excluded activities, like I'll mention it also here, like with the insurance, banking, shipping, aircraft, if you're coming under these categories, then you are not a free zone person. And if you're not doing excluded activity, you will be considered as a free zone person. Okay. Now, non-free zone person, you suppose there is a non-free zone person, means your company is outside mainland. I think I'm getting confused. Because this is very complicated thing. Right? Non-free zone person, you exclude, if you're doing excluded activity, you will be non-free zone person. Exception of excluded activity.
which slide do I go to? This is all for free zone. So should I just move past this and
Move fast. Yeah, move fast. Yeah. I think we'll go to the last one. Let's see. Let me come to the main free zone person. I already explained in detail.
So, just for everyone's information, we will be sending out the presentation
Thanks,
and
Nazima.
the recording of the video for you and for your information. You can download it on your refreshed link, just how you entered the Zoom meeting. You will have downloadables there, so you can download it, go back, log into your orders, and then you will see this in a few hours after this session. But feel free to still keep asking us questions as we go along so that others would also have that understanding. Any questions still here? So should we move forward or any other questions still here? We can just wait a minute, Nazima, to just check if there's any other question we can.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm a little confused here. When
Yeah.
you keep referring to free zone and small business, okay, so most of us, I mean, sorry, I can't generalize, but many of us have a license from free zone, like Armin said, right? To,
Yeah.
you know, maximize on value of the license and things like that. So as a free zone also, I mean, it's a far-fetched, but I'm just asking this thing for my own clarification and understanding. Well, okay, I understand that profit only is a parameter of paying tax, but keeping all those things aside, can free zone also be considered a small business if you're paying tax? Or is it that if you have a free zone, then you're considered a free zone and you're supposed to do business in free zone?
I already told you that you can apply for the small business relief no matter your free zone, your outside, your mainland, anywhere. Okay.
I was
But
just confused because repeatedly hearing that, so I was just asking, just clarifying.
No,
Thank you for clarifying.
I'll explain. If let me explain. If you apply for the small business relief, no matter where you are in free zone, you are in mainland, or any license you're holding, and you apply for small business relief, you cannot apply for free zone exemptions. Okay, these are the two separate things. Now, suppose you have free zone company. I'll give you an example. You have free zone company, and your turnover is less than 375,000. Sorry, your profit is less than 375,000. So you don't, of course, I'm not going, anyway, you're not going to pay 9% tax. You will pay 0%. That's very clear. That's a simple thing. If you are a free zone company, okay, and if you are a profit is less than 375,000, so anyway, you're not going to pay 9% tax. You'll pay only 0% tax. That is clear. That's very simple.
Okay,
Again,
no,
if
now it is very clear. I
Yeah.
was just confused because we kept referring to free zone, and then so I was just confused. This thing.
This is very simple, but
Now
you have
it's
to
very
register.
clear.
You
Now
need
it's
to register. Very important. Get register your corporate tax. One thing. And if you're less than 375,000, anyway, you're going to pay 0%. But if you're more than 375,000 profit and still you want to pay 0%, then all these things come into existence. You got it?
Thank you. Thank you so much.
If you're more than 375,000, then you need to prove that you are a free zone person. So still you're not paying 9%. You want to be in the 0% range. Then this thing will come, okay? I hope I'm clear on this.
It's Nazima, it's very clear now. Thank you so much. Thank you. Appreciate it.
A very important question everyone asking how to register for corporate tax. As soon as we finish this session, I'm asking you, please start registering process. And this will take 30 to 40 minutes when you sit for registration. Of course, you can take professional help like us, but I'm explaining this point, the step very easy way. You can also do it. And even portal is very easy and very friendly. So you can do it on your own as well. But register, it is important. So you have to go to Emirate Tax Portal. This is the link for that. I cannot open and show you as a complete presentation because it's a government portal. I cannot show on my person as per my company. Okay, so I cannot do that. So you just go to the portal, click it if you can do it now. So if your question, you can ask. Just go through it. Then you have to create your account. Login account is very important. But if you already register for custom duty or you already register for VAT, so you will have your own, you have your login credential already. You can log in on that. That is okay. It's the same portal for everyone. Log in. Then next step will come, create a taxable person profile. Who is a taxable person profile? Who is going to take care of everything? Either yourself as a shareholder, or if you're a manager in the company, or you have some director in the company, or some other like company is going to take care of them, you can create their profile. So to creating this profile, you will need a passport copy, MLS ID of this person. Once you've created this profile, next is then you have to go to the taxable person dashboard, click agree. Now you have created taxable person profile, which is very important. Once you've created this, you will go to the next, you will land in another page where there will be mentioned VAT, register for VAT, register for corporate tax, register for custom, register for excess, everything will be there. There are 4 or 5 things there. You have to choose register for corporate tax. Okay. Once you register for corporate tax, start registering. In that, once you click, okay, register corporate tax, 5 blue icon will appear on the top vertically. Okay. So first you have to click first entity detail. Entity detail means your trade license detail. You have to complete that. That is the first step. Once it is completed, the top one will become green. You can go to the next page. Every time we do for so many things, right? There you have to put identification detail of your company, not yourself. Means your license copy, your address means your company, jurisdiction, free zone, mainland, which free zone. They will ask questions and you have to complete those things. Then you have to keep your license copy ready, scan it properly, keep all the documents scanned, and so you will not waste time. Then contact detail. Again, it's an office address, which is mentioned. You cannot put any address. Office address, which is mentioned in your license. Okay. Office address, which is mentioned in your license. In this case, they will ask you to put a phone number. No mobile number is acceptable, only landline. If you don't have your office landline, use your personal phone number or home number. But number has to be landline. And post box. Don't have post box, get the post box. If you don't want to do it, don't want to spend that 1,000 dirham on the post box, use your personal box for, sorry, post box number, that's okay. Your husband post box or your post box, that is okay for now. Once you completed this detail, you will move to the 4th stage, that is add authorized signatory. Authorized signatory may be yourself, or as per the memorandum and article of association, if you authorize someone else through the power of attorney, whatever. But usually, I think in your case, it will be yourself only. So authorized signatory. So in that case, you have to keep your passport copy, Emirates ID, your memorandum and article of association. If you're a power of attorney, everything should be ready on your desktop or on your laptop. Finally, it's a review and declaration that you have declared. Now, once you have done this, doesn't mean that it is accepted. Keep an eye. Authority might ask you some questions or might ask you to upload something. So either in the portal you have to keep an eye, or they will even email and SMS to SMS as well. Once everything is okay, then they will generate a corporate tax certificate. Those who are already registered VAT, so you know how that certificate will be. So you will get one corporate tax. Okay, so this is how you have to register. So once, please try to do it today or tomorrow. Don't waste time. It's already, there's no deadline, but it is encouraged to do it as soon as possible. So registration is very important. So these are the steps you need to follow. Okay, so when you're ready, when you're getting ready for the registration, make sure your trade license, your memorandum, Emirates ID, passport copy, proof of authorized signature, if anyone, you have given someone power of attorney, office address with post box numbers, and your contact details. I told you landline. Keep everything ready and then start with this. Log into the portal.
So there was
Yeah.
a question from Namita and there's a question from Ajaz. He's saying, do you think after this corporate tax introduction, most of the mainland companies would shift to free zone? Is there any benefit to mainland company for corporate tax? What do you think?
No, mainland need to pay 9% tax. Whatever profit you are going to do, you can move to free zone, that is better for you. But again, to prove yourself as a free zone person or free zone company, there are so many criteria. So there'll be added expenses definitely. No auditor statement, you have to follow proper standard. But yeah, many people will move to the free zone because free zone are getting 0% benefit.
Yeah.
That is also better.
There is minimum threshold even for mainland, or there is no minimum threshold?
No,
So
there
like
is 375,000 is for everyone. 375,000 dirham
yeah, for every.
profit every.
Mhm,
But
mhm.
again, filing need to be done. Don't forget or don't miss the filing date. And one more thing I want to add when you're, as I mentioned, year end is very important. When you're registering for corporate tax, definitely they will ask you what is your year end. Please see, look at your memorandum and article of association. There is a year end is mentioned. If it is not mentioned, then you have to put December 31st. Okay.
Yeah.
Financial year. Okay, remember, financial year end is very important, and you have to file tax every year as soon as your financial year end. You have 9 months to file, but you have to do. Decide your financial year. If you're not decided, decide it now.
Nazima, in case we
Yeah.
don't have a landline, then what to do?
Use your home landline. They will
I don't
reject the
have-
application.
I don't have a home landline either. Get one.
I can't tell you because they will not let you go. They will accept the application, but they might reject it only for the landline. Because for this tax registration, they need landline and a post box. Very important thing. Because I have seen for my clients also, it has been rejected. Don't file them landline.
Yeah,
So
this
this was the situation for VAT registration also, and I vaguely remember that I had given the Ajman Free Zones landline, because obviously we don't have the landline.
Yeah, you can do that also.
You can give your Free Zones landline, and I
You
think
can do
VAT
that.
Zones,
You can give the post box also for them. They also
Yes.
have their own post box. You can use that one also.
yeah,
And
because
if
of
you-
the address, they give their own address, right? So
No, we have an office address on every trade license except for e-trader. There is an office address. So
that's what I'm saying. So office address in my case is given by rack only, so I can use their telephone number,
Yes,
their
yes.
absolutely, yes,
You can use
that's
your PO box, rack PO box and rack phone number. You can use.
okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Naz is
Look
asking
where
what is
it is
POA
important.
and MOA on the details. Power of attorney if is POA usually, Naz, and MOA is memorandum or articles of
Article of
association.
association. And if you already register for VAT, most of the work has been done in the same portal, right? So your corporate tax or like profile is created, your username and ID is created. So most of the information are there. So when you're registering for corporate tax, it will take only 10 minutes. You already VAT registered. It will not take more time. Become
That's
more
right.
easy.
Yeah, yeah. And a question pops up in my mind. Now, there are certain people whom I know, there are certain companies and friends whom I know, through COVID, they did not qualify for VAT and they used to qualify before. So they had deregistered or applied for deregistration. Even though they apply for VAT deregistration, the corporate tax account and the procedures remain the same, right? In the same.
Same.
Yeah. Great. Okay. Any more questions? Should we move to the next slide? Yeah. So these are the documentations required slide, Nazima. If you've not
Yeah.
covered it, just touch base on this.
What are the documents required? I already told trade license, the company trade license, memorandum and article of association, MLS ID, passport, authorized signature either yourself or someone you have appointed through power of attorney. A proof of authorization for authorized signatory. If it is not you as a shareholder, then power of attorney need to be uploaded. Office address with post box number, as I have already told you, and contact details. Keep everything ready, scan everything before you start for the register. So make sure you keep everything, all these documents ready when you register. Now it is very important to register. It's time for filing. Even they have not opened, portal is still not open for filing. So this is one.
So when do you think portal will open for filing? It would be
I
one
think
year from the start, right? Yeah. So June sometime.
by June, yeah, by June they will open it.
Correct. Correct. This is your, I think this is your slide now. The next one, how can e-house, enterprise house help?
Actually, it is, see, it is, I just want to tell towards the end that it is very essential to compile the tax. So whenever there's a taxation in any country, law become more tougher, and there are a lot of amendments also coming. So to keep an eye on that also. Because I told you, ignorance is not an excuse that, oh God, I did not read this, I don't know anything. Authority don't understand all this thing. Okay, they're deaf on this. So when there is a taxation, keep your updated, be organized, maintain your books of accounting. If you have not done it, start doing it now. Very important to maintain your books of accounting, decide your financial year end. So it's very important. That's what I want to say. I want to add last is first thing, start registering. First thing, register. Maintain your books accounting and always keep updating. And you can
Awesome.
contact me anytime for any questions, no problem.
This has been exceedingly helpful, Nazima. I think it's an eye-opener for most of small businesses, micro businesses who have embarked on the journey of taking the license, being a more legitimate company and institution here in the UAE. And while they are taking smaller steps to kind of improve their liabilities, their assets, their revenue, their profits, it is also important to keep in mind the cost, the time, and the effort that you would need to keep aside for, of course, filing these things. Because as an entity, anywhere else in the world, actually, this is like a normal thing. This has been done from time immemorial. Here, this being a relatively newer institution, a relatively newer country, and taxation being implemented now, I believe a lot of that is going to come in here as well, and it's coming in. So let's just pull our socks up and get ready for this, right? Because this is what real business is all about, and this is what makes it or breaks it, isn't it?
And they say this is nine as if you compare with other part of the world, there's always there are tax even in income tax. There's
Yes.
so many taxation are there, and they have 33%, 30%. This we have only 9% of tax. It's not much.
Right.
So even corporate tax also, we are even in a country like us, we are paying 33% income tax. Corporate tax is different. They're
That's
paying
true.
in our salaries also. So this is just 9%, but yes, still if there is a tax, we have to organize us. That is important.
Brilliant. Any last comments? Any questions? Ejaz is thanking you a lot in the chat, saying thank you very much. This was really helpful. For everyone who's joined and stayed on, refresh your memory. You'll get the downloadable link for the video as well as this presentation. And you have Nazima's contact number in that. You can feel free to contact her. You can reach out to us as well, and we will arrange a meeting and a session. There are multiple other sessions Nazima has graciously accepted to do for its survey. One of the sessions will be company formation, the importance and the significance of different free zones, mainlands, and so on and so forth. Another session she will be doing on VAT and filing of VAT, the importance of filing of VAT later in this year, later in this quarter before Ramadan. So yeah, please stay tuned, stay hooked on, and stay legal. I think that's one of the most important things, because when you're not legally covered in these aspects, there will be penalties which will give you unforeseen stress, but most importantly, it will give you unforeseen losses that you might not be able to recover from. And that is something that you definitely evade.
And I want to add one more thing here. See, I already explained in one of my slides, I told that if you're a blogger, if you're a YouTuber, if you're a private tutor, if you're a babysitter, and you are still not registered, get registered yourself. If you're earning business with any of them, still you are like you don't have license, but still you have to pay taxes. So better you register yourself legally and start paying taxes.
A question on that, Nazima. A lot of real estate agents have their independent real estate RERA licenses, right? And they operate under multiple institutions. Is there a special mandate for them?
I'm not too sure, but that's yes.
Could be that.
Yeah, I can, if you want, I can just check with my Mr. Tausif, who's a tax expert in my firm. I'll definitely ask this question and I'll put it in.
Sure. So two
But
questions.
they have different, I think accounting and auditing, they need to maintain in a different way. Because there are a lot of complication when it comes to taxing.
Right, because that comes into foreign income, escrow accounts, and the likes of, the borderline of things that are there. Okay, Naz is
There's an
asking.
AML also for that.
Yes. What is the
AML
AML
and
again?
economic subsidy. AML is anti-money laundering. So
Yes,
they have,
AML.
they have to register for Go AML also if they've not done it.
That's
Even,
right. That's right. Biggest money laundering rackets happen in that sector.
in sector. So they are very strict about this AML also. And escrow accounting also they're very strict. Because of money
Exactly.
laundering and other things.
Naz, you have a question.
Yes, I just wanted to ask, will more sessions follow on how to save tax also? I mean, in future,
We can do that.
I
It's a good
think we
question,
need
can
that
do
a lot. Yeah.
Definitely. And
Save
I'll ask
tax
my
is a good
my
task.
colleague to join in for that.
Yes.
I-
Thank you.
I
ma'am.
believe, ladies, if you are, ladies and gentlemen, both of you all, thank you for joining first and foremost. But if you are interested in getting your costing structure, more accurate as well, I highly recommend you sign up for tomorrow's session, which will be done by Simran and me. We will go through the cost structures, the profit structures, and just diluting further into not diluting, sorry, wrong word. Divesting further, our time into how to structure our books. That would be one part of it. How to look at profit, how to pay ourselves salary, what is the proportion, how to increase. Those things will be touched upon, followed by the strategy. Because if corporate tax is something that you will be paying for, it is very, very important to kind of get all of these things in order. And no better month than January. No better month than
No
January.
better months. Yes, that's right. Start preparing for it.
No better month. I'm saying that again. And I know some of you all did come to me saying that what is the benefit for members? It is a paid session. What is the benefit for members? I am going to speak to Simran and I will give you all a special discount code if you all are interested to sign up. It's a very small group that we want. We are only looking for 10 people to join because that will be lots and lots of questions, lots and lots of interaction. So people who are just passively going to listen, I don't think it will be helpful for them and for us who will be conducting this. But if you are actually interested, please let us know and sign up for it ASAP. It's tomorrow. It's tomorrow morning and it's online.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you for joining. We're going to wrap up now and we'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you. I mean, thank you for the opportunity. Thank you everyone for listening.
Thanks a lot, Nazima. Take care. We'll speak to you.
Bye, everyone. Thank you, Armin. Thank you, Nazima. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Okay. So I'm going to end this meeting and I'll send you another link. I just want 10 minutes of your time if you have time.
Okay. Thank you.